Chicago politics at work here with and beyond the S&P. Now, Democrats, of course, have been saying nonsense. Illinois Republican Congressman Joe Walsh says all this makes perfect sense and fits a pattern of behavior that he doesn't like. Well, it is weird, Congressman. It is weird.
Here I am in Chicago, Neil. Good to It's odd. There is something almost Chicago style about this, and it's so heavy-handed. I mean, as your previous guest said, the timing here, a month or so after the downgrade, S&P is singled out. Clearly, the Obama administration is trying to show how tough they are on Wall Street, go after the big banks. Now they're going to go after the credit agencies. But the timing here is suspect. It's odd that clearly they're retaliating against the S&P. And the other thing, Neil, I walk away with is it fits this pattern of the Obama administration where it's everybody else's fault but theirs. I went through that in the debt ceiling fight. It wasn't the debt crisis that was to blame. It was all of those House Republicans. Washington's so dysfunctional. They continue to blame the Bush administration, hurricanes, earthquakes, and now it's the credit agency's fault. You get tired of this.
Well, you know, Congressman, having covered it back then, certainly these credit ratings agencies, the S&P not alone, by the way, everyone was playing the same game and awarding very generous grades to entities and institutions that didn't deserve them. But there were plenty others doing it. So all I'm saying is if you're going to go after one, you should go after all. And now, you know, we tried to reach out to S&P to get those folks to comment on this. They declined. That's their want. But I'm wondering now what next.
Well, again, it appears to be some sort of payback. To single out S&P, you know, I sit on Oversight and Reform. I think this is something Congress ought to look at. You rightly acknowledge, Neil, there's politics involved in the whole rating agency business to begin with. But you know, look, the Obama administration could be a little bit more subtle than this, waiting a month and a half, and then you specifically target S&P. I think Congress ought to look at it. The administration is a pattern of rewarding friends. I think we're going to see that with Solyndra and some of these green job companies where government funds were given to friends.
But are you saying, Congressman, that this would not have happened to S&P had it not downgraded U.S. debt? Again, whether you're for or against that decision, you're saying that had S&P not decided it, it would not have seen this day today?
I don't know how you couldn't say that, Neil. How you couldn't say a month and a half after the downgrade, they've been singled out and targeted. I don't know how you couldn't come to a different conclusion.
Weird. All right, Congressman, good seeing you again. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Joe Walsh in Chicago. Speaking of which.